you can even watch back. Giving players all the props or put them on blast. We don't give no hot takes, only talk facts.
We're giving all our devotion, riding high on this wave of emotion. Going all out, yeah, cause this is our time. No, ain't no stopping us till we reach the finish line. All in, we came here to win. We're gonna give everything. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick. On fire, we're ready to fight. We'll bring the house down tonight. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick.
Play it on the car ride, play it when you lounge. X and O, you know that we can hold it down. Shout out to my man Sammy, got it off the ground. And to all the listeners tuned in right now, got debates, analysis, and speculation. This is sports talk for the new generation. You know where to find us, got a reputation. Sick podcast, your #1 sports destination.
Giving all our devotion, riding high on this wave of emotion. Going all out, yeah, cause this is our time. No, ain't no stopping us till we reach the finish line. All in, we came here to win. We're gonna give everything. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick. On fire, we're ready to fight. We'll bring the house down tonight. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick.
S-I-C-K is the sickest podcast. Tune in for the audio, or you can even watch back. Giving players all the props or put them on blast. We don't give no hot takes, only talk back. S-I-C-K,
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 S-I-C-K.
All in, we came here to win. We're gonna give everything. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick.
S-I-C-K is the sickest podcast. Tune in for the audio, or you can even watch back. Giving players all the props or put them on blast. We don't give no hot takes, only talk facts.
We're giving all our devotion, riding high on this wave of emotion. Going all out, yeah, cause this is our time. No, ain't no stopping us till we reach the finish line. All in, we came here to win. We're gonna give everything. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick. On fire, we're ready to fight. We'll bring the house down tonight. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick.
Play it on the car ride, play it when you lounge. X and O, you know that we can hold it down. Shout out to my man Sammy, got it off the ground. And to all the listeners tuned in right now, got debates, analysis, and speculation. This is sports talk for the new generation. You know where to find us, got a reputation. Sick podcast, your #1 sports destination.
Giving all our devotion, riding high on this wave of emotion. Going all out, yeah, cause this is our time. No, ain't no stopping us till we reach the finish line. All in, we came here to win. We're gonna give everything. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick. On fire, we're ready to fight. We'll bring the house down tonight. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick.
S-I-C-K is the sickest podcast. Tune in for the audio, or you can even watch back. Giving players all the props or put them on blast. We don't give no hot takes, only talk back. S-I-C-K,
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 S-I-C-K.
Turn up your volume. Because you're about to listen to The Sick Podcast. The Eye Test with Pierre, McGuire, and Jimmy Murphy.
The Stanley Cup winning Colorado Avalanche. And after 22 years, Raymond Moore
The sickest NHL podcast. It's gonna be sick.
And welcome to another edition of the Eye Test here on the Podcast Network. He is Pierre McGuire. I am Jimmy Murphy. Pierre, how are you today, my friend?
Good. Welcome back, Jimmy. Nice to have you back. Hope you're doing well.
I am. Thank you. A little tired, but I'm much better than I was yesterday. I'll put it that way. It was good to see. I was just thinking, Pierre, as we were coming on, it was great to see, some old friends and family members that you don't necessarily see. And I'm like, why is it we only see them at weddings and funerals? You ever notice that?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's like we got to start doing things in between that and death, So I'm going to make a concerted effort to stay in touch with some of the people I saw yesterday. And thanks to them for their support. And they wanted me to pass along to you. Thank you for being there for me, and also how much they love watching the Eye Test. So got a lot of fans spread all over through my friend Jeff, who just passed. So, and thank you to Mr. Chuck King for joining you rather, Pierre, on the Eye Test, filling in for me, and of course to Shane for the wonderful job he did as well. Appreciate all the work, and also to all the support people sent in notes to me. Thank you so much.
Mm-hmm. Well said. Well said.
Here, a lot of things I want to touch base on because it's been a couple days since we've talked hockey on air. I want to start. Carter Hart, as you predicted, signed with the Vegas Golden Knights today. Of course, as expected, there's also pushback there. I was looking at it and I'm thinking about that. Do you think any of the other, I know some of them have already gone to Europe. I don't know which ones are still.
Right. Well, Mikey McLeod's gone to Europe.
Right.
And
who's the other one there from Ottawa?
Well, Alex Formanton went to Switzerland, but I don't know if he's still there or not. I don't know.
Yeah.
Alex went to Switzerland where he had played before. And McLeod went to Omsk over in Russia. So, that's far cry from the NHL. I mean, it's a big city. There's a lot of people there, but it's a far cry from the NHL.
How hard will it be, or maybe it never happens, but if they try, how hard will it be to get back to the NHL after playing over there and being away? I mean, now that's going to be like 3 years once this season's done.
Well, it's hard. It's never easy to play. I've never seen so many high draft picks leaving the American Hockey League and going to the East Coast League. That's been going on the last 10 days. Nobody's talking about it. You got a lot of guys that are being, third, fourth, fifth round picks that have been signed to contracts that used to be in the American League with a shot to be in the NHL. And all of a sudden, because of the depth that's involved with all these organizations, they're going to the East Coast League. And the East Coast League now is a very difficult league, very difficult.
Yeah.
And so for guys like that, like Mikey in particular, who I think is a good player, and I'm not talking about the social stuff because I wasn't in the room.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened. I don't know, the extent of everything. I know what I read, but I also know that they were proven to be innocent. I don't know what happened. And I'm not going to try to be judge and jury because I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I got a daughter and I got a sister and I got a mother and I got a wife.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I respect womankind too. So I don't know, but what I do know is there's a ability for those players to come back and play. That's what I know. And so will there be pushback? I think there will be. We're already seeing the pushback on Carter Hart.
Yeah, there already is. The Golden Knights had to release a statement immediately. I'm sure it was already prepared, but they released it immediately after the signing. Just saying, they are keeping their morals that they had when they came into the league. They're keeping that as part of their foundation, and they will hold their players to the highest standard. So, yeah, there's going to be pushback. But I was just thinking on those players, like even if it wasn't a situation like this, Pierre, I'm just wondering, can you think off the top of your head where a player went away, like didn't play, left the NHL for 3 full seasons, and then returned? I can't off the top of my head.
No, I'd have to really think deep. One that I do know, he left Wisconsin and he went and played over in Finland and Sweden, Brian Rafalski.
Uh-huh.
And he came back and played, mucho Stanley Cups in New Jersey and Stanley Cup, I believe.
How long was he gone? Like just a season or more than that?
No, he was over there for more than that.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So, yeah, no, he was over there, and his agent was actually Billy Zito.
Oh, there you go.
I remember Brian doing that. Greg Brown, I think, did it too. The coach at BC went over and came back and played. But I can't think of too many guys that have been able to do that. It's a tough one to do.
And just with, like, as you were just saying, with the way not just the NHL, but the AHL and the ECHL are being flooded with more talent year in and year out, it's got to be tough to come back and establish yourself. So
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think it would be. But the one thing I would say, though, in defense of that, hockey's getting better in Europe all the time.
Mm.
The level of play, there are guys in Switzerland making $1 million now a season. The hockey's good. The DEL keeps getting better all the time. You see the goal Paterka scored last night. Everybody knows how good Stützle is. You see what Draisaitl does. The German hockey brand keeps getting better all the time. Sweden and Finland aren't going away anytime soon. They got a lot of really good players there. Look at how Oliver Kapanen is playing for Montreal right now. He was a point-a-game player in Timrå in Sweden. So you're seeing the ability of some of these guys to come over and play. But, these guys missed a lot of time playing. Forget what league they were in. All these guys that were part of
they were just working
the
out.
London thing, they just so I don't think it's going to be easy for any of them.
By the way, Pierre, I'm looking at his hockey DB now, Brian Rafalski. 4 seasons over there after Wisconsin before he finally signed on with the Devils, and in his first year won a Stanley Cup in 99 to 2000. That's amazing. That's
he's the first one. Like we didn't prepare the show, but all the guys. He's the first one that comes to my mind. But he was after playing pro over there. He came over.
Yeah,
and that just shows first of all, there's a little inside deal on that because Dave Conti at the time was working for the Devils, and David had graduated from Colgate and gone over and played in Finland. So he was plugged into the Finnish scene pretty good, and that's where Rafalski was. And Zito was really at that time. Billy was an agent. He was plugged in pretty substantially.
He owned Finland, basically.
Yeah, he was plugged in pretty big to Finland and Sweden, but mostly Finland. So, yeah.
By the way, 2 big ones we actually missed. They're pointing out here. Brad Kay says, "What about Kovalchuk? Didn't he go and come back?"
Yeah. Well, I mean. Yeah. He was a first overall pick.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. And, if you want to, what's that?
Guy Lafleur, did he go? Marvin Matthews is saying, didn't Guy Lafleur come back after 3? I didn't think so. No. Yeah.
No. Bob Gainey went over and played in France, but he didn't come back. Lemaire went over and played in Switzerland, but he didn't come back and play in the NHL. Lafleur, as far as maybe he did, but I don't think so. I know he went Montreal, New York Rangers, Quebec Nordiques. I don't remember Guy Lafleur playing in Europe. He might have, but I don't remember it.
All right, we talked about it at length. We recorded our on-campus Friday earlier today with RPI head coach Eric Lang. It'll be on there tomorrow. You will see that, and we discussed the Brady Tkachuk injury. We'll get into that a little today, Pierre. But as I was preparing right before the show here, some news came across. Pierre LeBrun is down at the Board of Governors, and he spoke to Keith Pelly from the Toronto Maple Leafs, our friend who's been on this show. And he had some interesting comments just about the positives of, and it wasn't anything bad that he was saying. He wished Mitch Marner the best. He said he had a great career as a Maple Leaf. He wished him the best in Vegas. But what he discussed was the cap space that it has freed up now. And his quote here, I think, was interesting. It's him kind of sending a shot across the bow to his GM saying, "You've got the space and you've got the green light to go out and do something." So he said, "I think the combination of the cap going up at the exact same time and Marner leaving, there's no question we didn't have as much cap room last year at the playoff trade deadline, that perhaps we needed to make a move that might have taken us further. But we're really conscious of cap room now. We definitely have flexibility, and it's go time for us."
So that's the key word, because that's what I've used with everybody I talk to in hockey. If you're not cap flexible, you're not a real player. So all these people that say spend to the cap, well, go ahead and spend to the cap and tell me how you do. Because if you're not flexible, no perfect rosters. I'm not backing off of this. There's no perfect roster in the league. Look at the results through the first 4 and 5 games of the league so far.
Yeah.
Nobody would have had some of these things. The Rangers never scoring a goal on home ice in their first 3 games. Come on, give me a break. Like I told you, they didn't do enough shopping in the offseason. I'm not backing off of that one either.
Nope.
And here, I will just say, if you don't have an aggressive owner, if you don't have a general manager that's trusted by the owner, and you don't have a pro scouting staff that's trusted by the GM, you're not winning this year.
Well, Pierre, I think this comment, though, also backs up your belief in the Leafs this year. When we were starting the season and we were kind of forecasting who we think might be in the finals, we both had Vegas and Toronto. And one of the reasons you kept pounding Toronto was, well, you had two big reasons. I think you said, their size, they're bigger, they're made more for the playoffs now, much like Florida. And also just that, they're able to take that money that might have gone to Marner and secure different holes around the lineup and become more of a sum of the parts type team, right?
Mm-hmm. Well, we'll
So
see if it pays off. They know they can be better than what they've been to start the year, and I think they'll continue to evolve and get better. I believe that. I could be wrong, but the biggest thing that I like about Toronto right now is they're pushing one another.
mhm.
There's no comfort zone. Willie doesn't play well, the coach calls him out, or that he calls himself out. Austin doesn't play well, called out. It's no more like velvet glove. It's
Mhm.
we're a legitimate contender, and we're going to act as such.
Yeah. And I also like, Pierre, there seems to be a good chemistry between Berube, Trey Living, and Pelly right now. And he actually mentioned that in that story. He said, I love how we're all on the same page right now. And he didn't see the gist I got from what it's not like he's trying to dabble too much in it, but he's saying, hey, we have the same goal here. I love what they're doing. And that's a great sign for Leafs
I
fans.
loved working for Keith Pelly. Keith Pelly signed me a long time ago, 99, 2000. I loved working for him. He's a friend. I have so much respect for him. He's a professional. And people say, well, he's not a hockey guy. He knows more about hockey than you think. And he understands the working man, and he understands the guys in the ballroom, in the brass room that make the decisions. He understands both sides of the equation. And the biggest thing about Keith is he's a visionary.
Yep.
He's a visionary, and he's not afraid to voice his opinion. Like, he may do it in a nicer way than some executives, because he does do it in a pretty nice way, but he knows when he's got to pound the table.
Yep.
He'll do an amazing job there. I'm telling you. I've always thought the world of him.
Well, that's
And,
to this date, that's one of my favorite interviews we've done on
Kelly was so good when we had him on.
you know.
I was fortunate because I didn't just spend time with Keith at work. He's a very athletic guy. We spent a lot of time playing sports together and talking about sports together. So I really respect him.
Yep.
Unlike some people that I have worked for, and I will never name their names, who I worked with, was loyal with, but I would never trade them for Keith Pelly. No
Mhm.
chance.
Yep.
No
I
chance.
just like when he talks, he gets across his vision so clearly. Like there's
Mhm.
no gray area with him. And I love people like that. And you're like that too, Pierre. But I like when people get right to the point. Like
Yep.
they're not going to beat around the bush. And hey, it might rub people the wrong way at times, but at least you know where they stand.
Yep.
This is an interesting quote though. In that same column, he also LeBron also talked to Jeff Jackson from the Oilers, and he asked him, the belief. I think we all agree when we saw Connor take the 2-year contract, take a little less. This is him saying, all right, I'm giving you a chance right now. Let's see what you can do with it. Let's go out and win this thing and get over the hump. And Jackson disagrees with this theory that they're on the clock. This is the quote that just got me, Pierre. I don't feel like we're on the clock any more than we were on the clock 2 years ago, to be honest. I respectfully disagree.
Yeah, no, but
Maybe
you're
you're
allowed
seeing it
to.
different because you've been in management. So
Yeah, but you're allowed to, because he's managing expectations, and he wants everybody to always believe that they got a chance to win, as long as they got dry size. So I'm going to tell you exactly what went on when I met with David Morehouse and all the people in Pittsburgh when Ray Sherrill got fired to be the GM there.
mhm.
And this was no messing around. If you don't win the Stanley Cup with these guys or compete for it every year, you're not lasting here. So they had Letang, they had Malkin, they had Crosby, they had Fleury, a lot. If you're not, remember the words, if you're not competing for or winning the Stanley Cup every year, you're not going to make it
No.
here.
No.
That is the philosophy. And I bet you Jackson is probably being told the same thing.
Yep. Gotcha. Nice point. Well, that's why I asked you, because you've basically walked in his shoes before. Pierre, another two teams. I want to get to, like I said, the Tkachuk thing and also the Sabres. But I've been watching the Blackhawks and the Sharks a little more this year.
Mhm.
And, they kind of started their rebuild generally the same time. Would you agree?
Yep.
Yeah. would you agree that the Blackhawks at this point are slightly ahead, but also that both teams are more fun to watch, are playing with more energy, and there seems to be more optimism coming from both teams at this point than, say, 2 years ago?
100%.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And we thought Chicago was ahead. If you go back and look at the tapes,
Yep.
we thought Chicago was ahead of where most of the pundits had them. We said that. And part of that was because of the depth of their defense. They were going to make mistakes, but they had young guys coming along. Vlasic was one. Rinzel was one. Del Maestro was one who's down in the American Hockey League right now. Oliver Moore was starting to percolate. Nazer was starting to percolate. We talked about this in the summertime about them. And so I'm not surprised by Chicago. San Jose, look, they're not going to win a lot, but they're going to be a lot of fun to watch.
Yeah.
That's great. And I really respect what they're doing there. I know it's hard to do what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they've got an owner that's now all of a sudden wants to be in the media, and he's taking some shots at Erik Karlsson. He took some shots at Dougie Wilson. And very interesting because for all these years, you didn't even know who the owner was. He was calm, cool, and collected. It was kind of different. But I give the management team there a lot of credit, and I give Warsofsky, the young coach there, a lot of credit because those guys are creating their brand.
Mm-hmm.
It's not easy to do.
No.
And it takes a lot more time than what people think. I remember when I went to Hartford and Berkey saying, we got 5 years to fix this. Well, Berkey left after 9 months, and then our owner sold the team after 21 months. Well, the 5 years went pretty fast.
Change in a hurry. You're right.
He's in a hurry.
Don't take it for granted. Yeah, I just look at Chicago right now, Pierre, and Bedard. I've noticed just almost in every game so far, there's a little more edge to him.
More edge. I think he was embarrassed by last year. The Olympics are a big lure for a lot of these guys.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people aren't talking enough about the Olympics. Why, the thing with Tkachuk is pretty significant. We talked about it the other day. I thought it would be the biggest story coming out of Monday in the league.
Yep.
After watching that, and it is a huge story because it's not just about Ottawa for him, for Brady. It's about the Olympics.
Yeah. Yep.
And I can tell you, I've had some of these star players ask me after 2014, why aren't we going to the Olympics? Why aren't we? I said, call your agent. Don't ask me.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm still working for an Olympic network, NBC. Call your agent. Ask your agent why you're not going. I had people that were management people in the NHL saying, what's going on? Why aren't we going to the Olympics? Yeah. I said, why don't you ask your owner? Oh, yeah, because the owners didn't want to talk about it, and the PA didn't want to talk about it, and the league didn't want to talk about it.
Yep.
But I knew why they didn't want to go.
Yeah, I know.
So
now it's finally back, and they want to be there.
Now they want to be there for a reason.
Yeah, it's been a while.
They saw what happened when they didn't go.
Yep, I agree. And you look at too, like, and this is something else we can touch on that happened today. But I remember, Pierre, over the summer when Lane Hudson was not invited to the orientation camp for USA, it was a bleep storm, and people are criticizing Billy Guerin and Tom Fitzgerald and we tried to say, pump the brakes. This doesn't mean he's not going to make it. And sure enough, now he's been named to the preliminary roster. And also, this goes in line with what we were trying to say then. Guys get hurt. Look at Tkachuk's right now. Look at the Tkachuk brothers. There's a good chance those guys might not be ready.
Jacob Slavin's hurt. He's not traveling with the team, and the season hasn't started yet.
August, man. Like, a lot of things can happen between August and January. It's insane.
Yeah, good for you, Jimmy. I like how you phrase that. So this is important for the fans out there. And I'm really surprised this was never reported better. The Americans never went on the ice.
Yeah. They
never went on the ice.
The camp.
This was just like, let's get together and like figure each other out and talk a little bit.
It was an quote unquote, Billy Guerin to me called it an informational session. That's what he called it.
There was no on ice decision making going on.
Yeah.
And nobody wants to talk about that. But I'm glad for Brock Besser. I know he's one of the guys. Thatcher Demko is one of the guys, and obviously Lane, who I'm thrilled for. I'm obviously I think Tony Marinaro calls me the president of the Lane Hudson fan club. I wear that with pride, just like the president of the Sidney Crosby fan club. I'll wear that with pride too.
You should maybe talk to his agents too. I mean, you pumped his tires pretty good before anyone else was, but
That's all right. That's all right.
I'm happy for him. What a great week he's had over the last few days. But yeah, like, so that's a big thing. Like injuries are going to happen. And what you see now with these rosters, I'm not going to bet, but I have a good feeling it's not going to be the same. There's going to be names that we never saw coming out of left field that just rose the ranks with their play on the ice, and other guy, and unfortunately for the person that's hurt, benefited from an injury. So,
hey, Tom, if you're Canadian, Tom Wilson's in the equation. I'm
Oh,
telling you right now. Mark Scheifele's in the equation. I'm telling you right now. Those guys are in the equation. I don't know who's not. I think John Tavares might still be in the equation. He might. And can we just get this straight now for the media people out there? The game's not being played on big ice in Europe. Okay?
No,
it's being played on NHL ice. I know there's a problem with the building right now. It's a little behind schedule. I understand that.
Okay, I thought it was a hybrid, Pierre. So it's NHL. Okay.
285.
Gotcha.
So so we get it out there.
Yeah.
Because I hear people, there's no way they're going to take Tom Wilson because it's on big ice. And no, it's not.
No, it's not. And that does affect selections for sure. By the way, with the Blackhawks too, I just want to send my best out to the Foligno family and everything they're going through right now, Pierre. I can't imagine.
Those boys have been through a lot. You know, people don't realize their mother died very young. And, you know, their father, Mike's a heck of a guy. He's a really good person. He was a heck of a player.
He was
a heck of a player.
Oh, the energy he had.
Yeah. Well, he was tough as nails too.
Yeah.
And he was good. He was talented.
Yeah.
So those boys grew up the right way, and their mom played a big part of that. And she passed away when she was very young. And so those boys remember that, you know, and it's hard. And then, you know, obviously you got the little girl that's having open heart surgery, I believe, or already has had it.
Yep.
Just thinking the best for her, and for the family.
We send our best to them. Pierre, all right, I do want to talk about Brady Tkachuk and the effect it has on the Senators and their strategy going forward here, because, you know, much like Pelly saying with the Leafs, it's go time. I think we can agree that the Sens have kind of reached a stage where they expect to make the playoffs now. They entered the season expecting to make the playoffs. It's never a sure bet, but it's highly unlikely if you're going to go 3 months without a guy like Brady Tkachuk.
So here's the biggest part of this whole thing. If you watched their game last night with Buffalo, they actually had a really good start, and they were down 1-0 off a power play goal that Levi Merrillainen, probably not used to the board system and the glass system in Buffalo, very active, bounced off the glass, went off his back and in. It's 1-0. But the game changed last night when Ottawa went up 2-1. Buffalo challenged the 2-1 goal, and they got it wrong. And I don't know how. So Lindy Russ going to have to deal with the video people there, because I don't know how they got that wrong. I saw it on TV, and I knew right away it was a goal. And then Ryan McLeod, Mikey McLeod's brother, he scores. He scores shorthanded, and all of a sudden it's 2-2. The wheels fell off for Ottawa. And if they're that fragile in that kind of a game, and they were fragile, because then it was just like Zucker on the power play, Zucker on the power play, like all these guys. Zach Benson was lighting up assists like you couldn't believe last night. So you're watching this and you're going, okay, I know that they had a little bad luck there because of the power play goal it was a shorthanded goal. But then all of a sudden I'm thinking, if Brady's there, that isn't happening.
No. He doesn't allow the wheels to fall.
Because those guys he's going to tell those guys in the bench, like, enough.
Calm down.
Okay, it's tied 2-2.
Move on.
I'm getting another sniff.
Yep.
And that's not what happened.
And especially too against, I mean, let's talk about it. Buffalo was not in a good headspace coming into that game. So,
no, but you know who's a good player? I'm telling you right now, and I've been watching him since he was a little kid at the Brick Tournament in Edmonton, Alberta. Josh Doan. Josh Doan came over in the JJ Peterka trade with Michael Kesselring. Kesselring's hurt right now.
Yep.
Josh Doan is a good player.
He's kind of.
I give their scouts a lot of credit at the pro level. He's a good player.
Right. And, you know, I mean, when that trade happened, Pierre, I remember it was and I'm not saying he should be, but he was kind of an afterthought with the media and the fans.
Yeah.
And now he's stepping up. That's great.
Yeah, he's a good player, and it says a lot about Arizona State and the hockey that's going on in Arizona. You got Nyes, you got Doan, and you got Matthews, 3 guys from Arizona, all from right around Scottsdale, all playing in the league.
Yeah.
Whoever would have thought that 15 years ago? No
Really?
chance. No chance.
Pierre, before we get to our sponsors and stuff too, I just want to mention I've been going back and forth. We can confirm it now. I'm just trying to work out the details, so I'll get the times and everything later for you. But very excited to announce, as everyone knows, we are going over to the Friendship 4 again, to the men's at the end of November, and then the women's at the end of December. So when we are over there from November 23rd to the 30th in November, at the end of November for the men's, on the 26th, I believe it is, on that Wednesday, we will be broadcasting live from the oldest distillery in Ireland, McConnell's Distillery. I am so excited. I had a great Zoom call with the crew from there. I'm going to be talking to them again soon to work out the details and the logistics, but very excited for that. Want to thank Sarah Stanton for organizing that. She came up with the idea, and we were like, heck yeah, let's do that. And of course, we're still going to be at the Harp. Really excited to go back to the Harp there. And of course, when we're in Dublin at the Harry Lemon, but we're going to switch it up a bit, and we'll be over at McConnell's Distillery on the 20th.
Who's driving us there? That's all I want to know. And back.
Yeah, Uber back. And also,
Jimmy, when you told me that, first thing I thought of, I wish my father was still alive, because I would have brought him on this trip. And, he didn't drink the last 25 years of his life, but I would have seen him over there just having a good, just like, wow, this is pretty good.
Yeah. I mean, I'm looking at it, just having the conversation with them, and they're right in the distillery, right behind them. You can see all the machinery and everything. I'm like, this is awesome.
Oh yeah, I can't wait. I'm really excited about that.
We're really excited, and big thanks always to the Belfast Giants crew as well. We're really looking forward to that. And one of the things that was coming up a lot, because the people that watched yesterday after the funeral, was, Jimmy, how excited you'd be going to Ireland twice. We're so jealous. So a lot of people are jealous of us, Pierre. We're very lucky. Wow. And we appreciate every opportunity we get like this.
Sarah Stanton and Robert Fitzpatrick and Stevie Thornton with the Belfast Giants have been amazing, but Sarah has been off the charts. Sarah's such an amazing woman. She's fantastic.
It's like, if you need to get something done, she's going to find a way.
Look at all the things that she's done for us, whether it was the Harp, whether it was setting up when we were at the Dubliner the other day, when we were in Boston for the announcements, all the travel stuff she's done for you and I over time. It's amazing. No flaws at all, anytime. Yeah. So all the years I was traveling, there were always so many mistakes made, but you don't complain about it. You just adapt and overcome. That's how you got to do it. Well, I've never had to adapt and overcome with Sarah because there have been no mistakes.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
There might be, but we never see them, right?
But we live it when we go, or all the different things we do, like hotels. Jimmy, you asked a great question, and this is just for people out there, and then we'll get to the questions. I know people want to get to that. I'll never forget you asked what hotel we staying in this year, because the Hyatt that we stayed at last year was nice. Remember when we got to Dublin, and it was right easy walk over to the Harry Lemon? And she goes, well, you'll be staying at a different hotel. I'm not going to say the name because we don't want to get in trouble, because one of the teams is staying there.
Yeah.
She goes, it's right near the Liffey River. I said, okay. And I knew the name, and I know the hotel. It's really nice. So I was like, wow, Sarah's always surprising us. Like all these amazing things. It's pretty good.
It's great. And I don't know if her sons watch it, but she's got 2 sons who are in the Liverpool program, working their way up the ladder, trying to become professional players there for Liverpool. And I already cheer for them, and now I'll have a reason to cheer even more for Liverpool. Yep. So that's great. Good luck to them. Yep. All right. Let's get to our sponsors, Vago Italian. You want to go there right now because they combine old world classics and new Italian dishes for over 23 years. Private dining rooms for any occasion, open Monday to Saturday evenings, and lunch from Tuesday to Friday. They are located at 1336 Green Avenue in the Westmount neighborhood of Montreal. For reservations, call 514-846-1414. Again, 514-846-1414.
And before you get to Bet Rivers, I just want to say one thing.
That way.
November the 13th, I'm going to be at Vagos, just so you know.
You are. Well,
I
Pierre.
got a date with a lady named Sally McGuire.
All right. All right. Your team.
I'm actually going to speak at Ray Shiro's induction into the St. Lawrence Hall of Fame in Canton on the 14th and the 15th. So
Okay.
I'm going to fly to Montreal,
Yeah.
take my mom out, and we're going to Vagos, just so everybody knows.
I'm going to be there the 13th to the 17th, Pierre.
Well,
So
then you're going to come to Vagos on the 13th, aren't you?
all right. We will have to
And
talk.
here's the deal. If I see you in there, Jimmy sees you in there, please come by and say hello. I mean that sincerely from the bottom. Jimmy
Sure.
knows we love to interact with everybody we see in a row. So
Oh, man, that's it. And not to go back, but one of the best things about Friendship 4, I felt, was interacting with all the different families and the players and everything.
How
And
about
just,
all the Europeans, though?
oh my God.
All the Irish guys and all the Irish lasses. It was
Yeah.
amazing. It was
And
awesome.
they knew all like hockey and
No,
stuff.
it was really cool.
It's cool
And
stuff.
then you got this guy from Colorado shows up by the name of Sakic. And he's like, hey, fancy meeting you guys here.
Yeah, by the way, that was a pretty cool. That's right. I got to watch the first game just sitting next to Joe Sakic. Like,
Oh, that was good.
all right. Next, let's get to Betway right now, and then we'll get to the questions. Bet the beauties with Betway and join the action. Go to the QR code right in front of you to sign up for a new membership. Or if you're not watching, you can go to the members section and fill out your members form there. And remember, with a new membership, you can bet up to you can bet, and if you lose, you get up to $200 back in credit. It's a great deal. So go there right now and set up. And you must be 18 plus. Terms and conditions apply. Always bet responsibly. And this is not available in Ontario. And I've got a little parlay. I did one on the on-campus too. I did a college one. Pierre seemed to approve at least of some of it.
No, I liked it. I liked your reasoning too, but we'll save that for tomorrow.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you.
I liked your reasoning. That was good. It was solid.
I put a lot of thought into that one, Pierre.
I could tell you weren't just throwing it out there. That was good.
And this is another one that I'm going with 3 over-unders in this and 1 team. And I did put a lot of thought, research into the first few games for each team. And this is what I came out with. My 4-team. So I don't like going so many teams, but we're just going to do it once. 4-team parlay for you. Under 6.5 in the Rangers Leafs. I mean, we all know the Rangers aren't scoring much right now. So under 6.5 in the Rangers Leafs, over 6.5 in the Panthers Devils. The last 10 of 11 games between those two teams have gone over. I took, like I did last week, Pierre, I'm going with the Dobish rule, where Dobish gives up the first goal, but then the Canadians come back and win the game. So you can go there. If you go to game props, you'll find a thing that says team to win from behind. And you can pick either the Canadians or the Predators. You can get the Canadians at plus 265. And then my final one is the over 5.5 in the Kraken Senators. It is 25 to win $575. So, hey, if that hits, good for you.
It'll be a good Christmas for Jimmy.
All right, let's go. What do we got? I've been looking forward to this the last few days. Love answering these questions. SEMO hockey training. Pierre, how excited should I be for the Hawks start? It seems like Blashill has come in and changed the culture and effort on both sides of the puck. I've been super impressed with Kaiser's play. How about you?
Yeah, very much so. Wyatt Kaiser's been outstanding for them. I think, you give Jess Blashill some credit on that, but I also think we talked about it the day he got hired. Michael Pekka leaving the Rangers and going to Chicago, that's a huge stroke by Jeff Blashill to bring Michael Pekka in. And I think you put it all together with a very solid staff. Chicago's good. They've got good young players. The defense will continue to evolve and get better. Soderblom, or what do you call him? Sody last night. I'm trying to remember what Blashill was calling him. Sody. They got goaltending too now. Depth in goaltending, not just Spencer Knight. So I think there's some good stuff going on in Chicago. I don't think they're a playoff team yet. Let's talk about it by Thanksgiving. We'll know by Thanksgiving if they're a playoff team or not.
But they're competitive every game, and that's huge.
Yeah, and you said it best. They're fun to watch.
Yeah, exactly.
They're fun to watch.
And I love the snarl from Bedard this year. All right, next question. Ethan Russell, thoughts on Justin Sourdif so far this season? Seems like a nice pickup for Washington.
Yeah, he was part of Florida Panthers in Charlotte last year to help the team go to the final. They lost to Abbotsford, but he's always been a good player, offensive player in particular. Very, very good.
Mm-hmm. All right, next question. Paul Cormier, hi guys. With a D for the Habs set for this season, What will happen to their defense when Reinbacher, Angstrom, etc. are ready to vie for a few spots? Who will be the odd man out? In or two players maybe.
Yeah, so the best part about this, Paul, is that now they got some chips in the game. People are always looking for defense. Canadians have an organizational need, obviously, at the forward position. Some people say the second center position. Some people say the third position. I think Kapanen's kind of taken away that third opportunity. If you have Kapanen and Evans in the 3-4 hole and Suzuki in the 1 hole, and this is not a knock on Kirby Dach. I just think if you're going to win a cup, I think Kirby's either got to be a winger and you got to bring in another centerman, or Kirby's going to become unbelievably quick in a short period of time. And I'm not sure if that's going to happen or not. But you have chips in the game now with all those defense. It's interesting tonight against Nashville. Arbor Jackey's out. Jaden Strubal's in. And I talked to our confrere, Tony Marinero, about that the other night with Max LaPierre. And I said, if I were the coaches, Arbor would come out for this game with Nashville. It's a non-division, non-conference game. And you don't want him messing around. And he looks like he needs a little bit of a break after an emotional start, but he's in the lineup Saturday against the Rangers.
Exactly. And it
in the lineup.
As they do always, people have been overreacting on social media, or this means they don't like Arbor, and nothing like that. No. This is the beauty, as Pierre just said, they have the luxury of such a deep defense that you can alternate guys in and out, give them a breather, let them look up, look down from above and see things maybe they're not seeing on the ice. So it's a great luxury to have.
And Arbor will have to play a role Saturday night. He will. He has no choice.
Yep. So that's going to be interesting as well. I'm looking forward to that one on Saturday. All right. Next question. John Smith. Hi, guys. Can the Habs really afford to rotate Arbor and Struble all season, or would it make more sense to move someone? I think they both deserve to be regulars at this point. How does this shake out?
Well, John, this takes me back to the 1970s with the Montreal Canadiens when you had the big three on defense with Robinson, obviously Robinson, Savard, and Lapointe. And you had a lot of guys fighting for ice, and the depth was phenomenal. And for the Canes, and that's why they went on all those cup runs. People forget, there were some really good players that played there that didn't play a lot. Rod Langway was there for a little while. Billy Nyrop was there for a little while. People forget that Joe Lupien was there. You start looking at all the guys that were there. Pierre Bouchard, they had a lot of guys that were good players, and the Canes didn't want to move them. And when they did move them, they moved them for tangible assets.
Right.
But that's a chip in the game. You don't be in a rush to move anybody. So if it hurts somebody's feelings because they're a healthy scratch, it's the way it is. But you don't want to give them away.
No. And something I always notice, Pierre, about most Stanley Cup teams, and I've had the pleasure to cover 3 Stanley Cup runs by the Bruins. They only won 1, but still was the 6th and 7th defenseman on a lot of teams that go that deep. They embrace it. They don't mind that they're going to be in and out or get a few games here and a few. They say, I'm in, and whatever it takes. If it takes me sitting up there, then I'll do it. And there's just a buy in there, and I think you can sense that team wide with the Canadians right now.
I agree with that. And that's perfectly said. That's the heart of a champion. That's what a champion does. He sacrifices his own well-being for the good of the team. And this is the Bowman School of Higher Learning in hockey. Make sure your extra guys are ready. So when we call them, they're ready to play. Because if they're not ready, that's on you. It's not on them. It's on you as an assistant coach. Yep. And I took that to heart every single day that we played through 2 Stanley Cup runs. Make sure the extra guys are ready to play.
They're always going to be needed. There'll come a time. All right, next question. A to Z me. Watched a lot of Mayu last year with Laval. The eye test was pretty obvious. Terrific on the PP. Needs a lot of work on the rest of his game. Are you guys surprised the Blues jumped the gun a bit on him? No, they had a need, A to Z. I see what you're saying, A to Z me, but they had a strong need there. Like Pierre, we've agreed that's a very good hockey trade for both sides.
Yeah, it works out well. Everybody's prejudging it now because Bolduc is hot, but Bolduc didn't score last game, and it was probably maybe his worst game as a Canadian, and he didn't play poorly. He didn't play poorly against Seattle, but he wasn't as good as he was in the previous games. And that the roller coaster ride of an 82-game schedule. These are young guys. They're 21, 22 years old. I don't think people realize this league's never been harder.
Yeah. Well,
that's why we talked about it before. You got 2nd and 3rd round picks being sent from the American League to the East Coast League this week. Yeah. I'm just telling you, and if you don't believe me, go look it up because I watch it every day.
Yeah.
And it's shocking.
Yep.
It's shocking. We got guys that have played in World Junior and been gold medal winners playing the East Coast Hockey League right now.
It's unreal. It's great. All right, next question. Juice, Pierre, do NHL owners lose a lot of money when their team doesn't make the playoffs, especially when they don't make the playoffs for an extended period of time?
The answer is, may we?
Oh, yeah.
Do. Yes, they do. I know of one team, and I will not say the name of the team. I was having a lengthy discussion with the general manager, and the general manager said they had lost in the first round. He goes, I'm going to have a lot of answering to do to my owner. And I said, why is that? And he goes, because we don't make money if we don't get to the second round.
Yep.
And they're a big team in the league.
And that was something that took a huge, that was big when we were coming out of COVID too, Pierre, because I can't say the names either, but you mentioned some teams to me that were in situations like that. Like these guys are losing a lot of money right now. So yeah, it's huge. All right, next question. Michael Lemieux brothers from Maine.
Oh,
Right.
I know who they are.
Oh, great. Awesome. Thanks for tuning in. I like the UVM hat too. Do you guys think Bolduc could be the number 2 center the Habs are looking for?
I think he's better as a winger, Michael. I do. I think he's better as a winger. And I met the Lemieux brothers up in Vermont when Northeastern was playing up there last year.
Oh, I remember this.
Yeah, great guys. Unbelievable passion for hockey, those guys.
That's
It's
awesome.
pretty cool. So I think Bolduc's better as a winger. And I've made the comparable on Mitch Melnick's show many times. I see him as a version of Mario Tremblay. I don't think he's as good, but I see him being like that. I've never seen him. Mario could really fight. I've never seen this guy do that. I know he plays with a burr on his bonnet, but we'll see. I think he's a really good player. I just don't think he's a centerman personally. It's kind of like Newhook. I don't think Newhook's a centerman.
Right. All right. Next question. Hockey Junkie, do you think the Habs make a trade for a 2C before the deadline? Yes.
I love that picture of Bob Clark. That is so good. It's one of the all-time great pictures. It's so good. Oh, I love that. Yeah, I do. I do
too. And I think they won't wait until then. I think it's done maybe a month or two before. All right, next question. Perlo Wisdom, what happened to Pedersen? Is there a commitment issue there? Just confidence? Have you heard anything? Of course, he's talking about Pedersen.
Vancouver.
Yep.
Great question. I don't have the answer. Here's what I do know. When I worked in Ottawa, so that's 3 years ago, almost 4 now, he was an untouchable.
Mm-hmm.
He was an untouchable in Vancouver.
Yep.
And you could have offered them a star player from your team.
And you were getting shot down.
You were not getting that player. I can tell you that for sure.
I'll have to watch. He's just got so much skill, Pierre.
Something happened. It's like, and I'm not afraid to say it, Jimmy. I don't know if it was a JT Miller stuff. I don't know if it was stuff with the coach, who's a friend of mine, Rick Talk. I have no idea.
Yep.
Something happened there. And I don't know what it is. And I've not asked anybody, and I really don't want to know.
All right.
I feel bad for the kid. I do. He's a really talented person.
He seems like a good guy. Whatever it is, I hope he figures it out. All right, next question. Big guy. Hey, Jimmy and Pierre, any surprise teams so far? I know it's early. I think, I know they're probably not making the playoffs, but like the Blackhawks, like we mentioned, are one of them, Pierre. Yeah. In the East, I mean, so far, I don't think it's going to stay this way, but I'll give credit where it's due in the current moment. The Bruins, they've surprised me so far.
That's fair. I don't know. They've done.
They've done a great job.
They've done a good job so far. Marco Sturm, I think, has really pushed some good buttons there. So good for them. Their schedule hasn't been overly difficult. They play Vegas tonight.
Yep.
It's
Vegas,
about to,
Colorado, and Utah.
Yeah, it's about to get a little more difficult. Yeah. To me, one of the bigger surprises would be the Rangers not having scored a goal in 3 games on home ice. I'm surprised by that, even though I have not been bullish on the Rangers. I still think they have a better team than what they've showed, and I think eventually they will figure that out. I think Pittsburgh's been a good surprise.
It's more competitive than I thought.
They're way more competitive than people thought, and they're playing hard. The other night they lose in Anaheim, and it's not because Parker Weatherspoon makes a bad play, shoots the puck over the glass, and eventually Kreider scores in the power play. It's just the team was in it right from the start. They had a 2-0 lead. They played hard. They played smart. That's a good Anaheim team. So I'm seeing what Dan Hughes is doing there with his staff, and they've done a nice job invigorating those players. They've done a very good job.
I got 2 more, Pierre. One I want to say, and you mentioned, I think, earlier this week, Detroit. I mean, what they've done since they got the tongue lashing from McClellan, they've come back and they're playing good hockey. And then out west, I think a lot of people expected the Dallas Stars to be good, Pierre. But I wondered if in the first 10 games, so to speak, we would see a glaring adjustment period under the new coach. They seem to be all in sync and buying into whatever it is he's putting forth for
I
them.
agree. They got outshot pretty good last night by Minnesota. They still found a way to win, which is good for Glenn Gulletson and his team. And obviously, Ottinger's pretty good. Now he's going to have to prove it in the playoffs, but he's pretty good. I mean, he's pretty good.
Yep.
So it's interesting, but I like that take on Dallas too. I think
all right, next question. The Sedita 17, there we go. Detroit has gotten off to a solid start, 3 wins in a row. Do you think what they are doing and how they are playing will be sustained through the season? Will there be playoffs in Detroit? I hope so. The NHL needs that market.
That's just how tight it's going to be. You got one team, Detroit, going north. You got one team, Ottawa, going south. One team that's going north didn't make the playoffs and hasn't been in the playoffs for almost a decade. The team going south made the playoffs last year for the first time in 7 years. They better get on their horse, because if not, Detroit's going to pass them.
Yep. And that would be tough if they, after finally making it for Ottawa to drop out like that. All right, next question. A to Z meet. Talbot has been lights out for the Wings. Yeah, he's been unreal, Cam Talbot. How long does that last?
Well, here's the thing, and it's such a good point by A to Z me. Talbot has a history of being injured in the hip area. He's had a lot of procedures there. He's not getting any younger. When Cam was really on top of it, he was playing behind Henrik Lundqvist, and he was really good in that kind of a role. I don't know how long it can last with Cam, but right now it's good. And don't forget John Gibson's there. That's a positive part too. And the one thing, and Jimmy knows, if you go look at the depth chart of the Detroit Red Wings, one of the parts of the depth chart that really stands out is the goaltending position. They got whacks of them everywhere. Toledo in the East Coast League, Grand Rapids in the American League, guys in Europe, they're loaded they're loaded in goal. So I hope it lasts for Cam, because he's an unbelievably honorable guy. His hips scare me a little bit, Jimmy. I'm not going to lie to you.
Well, at least they're maybe getting a little more relief than they thought they could get from him. So that's good. All right. Next question. SEMO hockey training again. Any word on Devin Levi? Thought he was the future in Buffalo. I think they might have messed up his development. I was thinking about that today.
We've talked, Jimmy and I off the air talk about this.
Yeah.
I don't know what the heck's happened. Like,
it's an enigma. Like, with all due respect to Alex Lyon, he has played admirably and he keeps them in every game.
Yeah.
But then they go out and they get Gorgiev. Like, why? You got the kid there.
I didn't understand any of it.
Something's going on there, Pierre. There's
But
definitely.
I'm not going to say, look, it's not a business for faint of heart people, okay? It's a hard business. Trust me when I tell you.
Yeah.
It's hard. And if you don't have strong mental resolve, it's probably harder than you could even imagine. I don't know if they broke him or not. I have no idea. But I would tell you one thing. That kid, when he left Northeastern, he was really close to being an NHL goalie. I can tell you that right now. And I don't know what's happened.
I'm going to try and watch some Rochester in the coming week just to kind of see if there's anything standing out. Like I haven't watched them in a while, so I don't.
They have a good team, by the way. They have a good team there. So good. They sent 2 of their draft picks to the East Coast Hockey League.
So they were one of them. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Wow. All right. Next question. What do we got? Chris Gaming TV for Pierre. I always wonder, what was your reaction when Mario Lemieux scored that crazy goal against the North Stars in the Stanley Cup final? Is that the best goal you ever saw in hockey history?
Well, for me, I'd say yes. There's one, Darren McCarty, and we just had Chris Draper on.
Game 4 against
Philadelphia.
Yep.
That was similar to the Mario goal. But the Mario goal was something special. Bob Johnson, he created the perfect matchup for that situation at that time in the game. And that was all on Bob. Bob never got enough credit for that as a coach. If you watch it, you'll know what I'm talking about. You can see the rotation in the lines and what he was doing. He's trying to create one certain matchup, and he got it. And it worked. And Mario, like, his skill level was crazy. Maybe one other one that I saw with Mario, and I hate to say this because he's our friend on the show, Raymond Bork. Mario walked him shorthanded in Game 4 of the Eastern Conference Final, and Mario had just come back from a broken wrist, and Ulfie Samuelsson was standing on the bench right in front of me because I was about to put him out because I figured, the power play is over. It was a second power play for Boston, except for Raymond. And I'm like, okay, they're coming back with Neely and they're coming back with Oates. They're coming back with their big guys. So I said, Ulfie, be ready. And all of a sudden, Mario walks Raymond and scores. And Ulfie goes, you don't have to put me on now. The game's over.
Jeez. Boston fans are not going to like hearing that. All right. Next question. Ethan Russell, do you think Cole Hudson will jump into the NHL after his college season? Could you see him take over the power play?
I think yes and yes. Ethan, great point. I don't think he's as good as Lane. I'm going to say that. Maybe the Hudson family will be mad at me. And again, to be totally transparent, my son Ryan played with the eldest Hudson, Quinn, in Penticton. And they've been friends for a long time. And Ryan was in camp in Washington 2 summers ago with Cole. And so I get some pretty good internal scouting reports too. And Cole's really good, and I've enjoyed watching him play. I just don't know if he's as good as Lane. He's good, though. And I do think he'll leave BU at the end of this year. Yes, I do.
And reminder, too, BU Michigan State on Friday night should be a good one.
That should be a good weekend series.
Oh, there's a lot of good college hockey.
How about Minnesota's got a good one? Minnesota's got a big one coming up with North Dakota this weekend.
Going to stay in North Dakota, right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I'm kind of looking forward to a little of that.
Pierre, is that – oh, we could go on and on. We'll save it for an on-campus. I got a good debate question. Remind me. All right.
By the way, I think you and I, we talk about taking this on the road. I think we've been invited to go to do a segment at North Dakota.
Yes, because they will.
Because of the Friendship 4.
Yep. Yeah. That's going to be interesting. The 2027, is that when they're in it, Pierre?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think Sarah was telling us they already booked all the flights and the tickets. Their fans travel large for sure. All right, next question. Juice, outside of winning a Stanley Cup, is winning an Olympic gold medal the most important thing for a hockey player?
That or the world? Yeah, I'd say yes.
Yeah. Yep. All right, next question. You got anything? Oh, it looks like we are done. We are done. Thanks for letting me know, Shane. Good stuff. Great questions as always. We appreciate it. And again, I was very excited to come back and answer your questions. Thanks again for all your kind notes. And Pierre, I'm in the talks with about 3 different potential guests right now. So
okay, good.
When I know them, we will post them. So we should have a good week next week. Looking forward to that. Pierre, I know you are going to be on the road to Charlotte tomorrow. And want to tell our listeners why?
Well, no, Minnesota's farm team from the American Hockey League's playing Charlotte tomorrow, so I'm going to head up there and watch that game tomorrow.
Yep. And Ryan McGuire will be playing his first game.
Well, we'll see. I don't.
Oh, it's not yet?
I don't say anything till the lineup's out. I don't.
That's a good point. Well, if he gets in, we wish him the best of luck. And you have a great trip up there, Pierre. I will talk to you off air. And thanks to Shane and thanks to everyone out there. We will talk to you. Well, on campus tomorrow, but we will talk to you live again on Monday here on the iTest on the Sick Podcast Network.
And that's a wrap. Hope you don't miss us too much until next time. Follow the iTest with Pierre McGuire and Jimmy Murphy on YouTube, Facebook, Google Play, and Apple Podcasts.